Congratulations, you're a trillionaire, the richest person to ever exist in human history. Not just wealthy in the normal sense, not just rich in a way people can compare, but operating on a level where comparison itself stops working. Your net worth is larger than multiple major economies combined. Even if you spent $1 million every single day without pause, it would take thousands of years before you could even make a noticeable dent in your fortune. At this point, money stops behaving like money and starts behaving like reality itself bending around you. At first, your mind doesn't fully accept it. You wake up expecting limits, expecting restrictions, expecting hesitation, but there are none. Every idea you think of can be executed instantly. Every barrier you once knew in life has completely disappeared. The world no longer tells you no. Instead, it waits silently for your next decision, as if your thoughts are instructions reality must follow. But the problem arrives faster than the excitement. People find out. Not gradually, instantly. Your identity spreads across every screen, every platform, every conversation happening on the planet. News channels repeat your name on loop. Social media turns your existence into global obsession. Outside your residence, crowds begin forming. Not a few people, but hundreds, then thousands. Some holding cameras, some holding signs, others just staring silently as if waiting for a glimpse of something no one has ever seen before. At first, it feels like admiration, then curiosity, then obsession, and then pressure, and finally, discomfort. Because now you realize something unavoidable. Being known at this scale means being exposed at every scale. Privacy is no longer something you lose slowly. It disappears instantly when attention crosses a certain threshold, so you take action. Security becomes the first priority. One bodyguard becomes two. Two becomes a full tactical team. Then another layer is added on top. Within a short time, a complete 24-hour rotating security system surrounds you. Armed professionals, surveillance experts, intelligence operators, all working together like a machine built for one purpose only: your protection. Within days, your movement is no longer spontaneous. It is calculated, monitored, and structured. But safety solves only one problem and immediately creates another. Your transportation now feels outdated. Ordinary vehicles no longer match the scale of your existence. So you upgrade, but not in a normal way. You don't simply buy a luxury car. You acquire Bugatti itself, the entire company. Billions disappear from your account instantly, but your financial system barely reacts. It feels like a rounding error at your level of wealth. But even that fades quickly, because now your home becomes the next issue. You cannot stay in a place everyone can locate, so you relocate to a compound. Massive land, reinforced perimeter walls, controlled entry points, private roads designed so outsiders cannot even approach the main structure. From above, it looks like a fortress. From inside, it feels like isolation disguised as luxury. Inside this environment, everything becomes structured. Staff is hired immediately. Not a small team, but an entire ecosystem of workers. Housekeepers, chefs, drivers, engineers, security analysts, maintenance crews, coordinators, managers, technical experts. Every function of life is now handled by someone else. Your existence transforms into a system that runs independently without your involvement. Within weeks, dozens upon dozens of people are working daily just to maintain your environment. And for a brief moment, it feels stable. So you begin to spend. Not carefully, but endlessly. A private jet is redesigned into a flying residence. An island becomes your personal escape. A superyacht becomes a floating city with luxury facilities beyond imagination. Helicopter pads, entertainment zones, medical wings, all built not for necessity but for possibility without limits. Hundreds of millions disappear into projects that redefine excess itself. But something strange begins to happen. Your wealth doesn't decrease in any meaningful way. It grows. Even when you stop spending completely, your fortune expands automatically. Investments generate returns faster than you can track. Every single day, you wake up richer than the day before without lifting a finger. Money is no longer something you manage. It is something that multiplies around your existence. So now everything is handled. Security is handled. Lifestyle is handled. Logistics are handled. Comfort is handled. But simplicity becomes the next desire. One day, you want something extremely ordinary. Coffee. Not luxury coffee, not imported blends, not rare beans from exclusive regions, just a normal cup from a place you used to visit before everything changed. Your team treats it like a high-level operation. Routes are analyzed, timing is adjusted, security is prepared in advance. When you finally arrive, the environment shifts instantly. Conversations stop mid-sentence. Heads turn. Phones rise. People recognize you immediately, even without confirmation. The barista hesitates before speaking, hands slightly shaking as she prepares your order. You receive your coffee. It tastes identical to before. But the experience is completely different, and that difference stays with you longer than the taste itself, so you stop going. Because even simplicity now carries consequences. Then you try something else. You try impact. You donate hundreds of millions to global causes. Disaster relief, education, infrastructure development. Headlines appear instantly. People praise you. For a brief moment, it feels meaningful. But attention fades quickly, and expectation replaces gratitude. People begin to expect more instead of appreciating what was given. But the real shift doesn't come from strangers. It comes from the people closest to you. Your phone never stops ringing, but the names are no longer personal. No friends, no casual conversations. Only professionals. Lawyers, advisors, executives, government officials, charity leaders. Everyone wants access. Everyone wants influence. Everyone wants a piece of your time, your attention, your identity. And slowly, personal relationships begin dissolving. Old friends fade away quietly. Some disappear completely without explanation. Others remain, but differently. Careful, controlled, measured. Every sentence feels pre-approved before it is spoken, as if honesty itself has become risky around you. Then one day, you meet someone who feels different. She speaks naturally. She laughs without hesitation. She doesn't mention your wealth even once. For the first time in a long time, something feels normal again. You begin trusting that feeling, until small details appear, things you never told her, preferences you never shared, locations she somehow knows, information she shouldn't have access to. And the realization arrives slowly but clearly. She researched you, like everyone else. But now a question forms in your mind and refuses to leave. Does she like you? Or does she like the life attached to you? Distance forms without explanation. Then everything escalates. A tabloid publishes a story. Photos, conversations, speculation, assumptions presented as truth. Someone close to you sold the information. Her life changes instantly. Privacy disappears overnight. Strangers contact her. Her identity becomes public property simply because she crossed paths with your world. And you realize something irreversible. You didn't just enter her life, you reshaped it completely. Then your past begins to surface. Old statements, old moments, old versions of you are taken out of context and transformed into headlines. People who never met you now judge you confidently based on fragments of your history. Your team advises silence, so you remain silent, and you watch, as your past is traded like content. Then family enters the equation. Your mother calls. Calm. Familiar. Grounding. For a few minutes, life feels normal again. Then she mentions your brother. He is struggling financially and emotionally. You help immediately without hesitation. But later, at a family gathering, something feels different. He avoids eye contact, speaks less, leaves early without saying goodbye. And your mother later explains gently that he feels distance, not physical but emotional, as if everything changed when money entered the equation. And you begin to understand something uncomfortable. Wealth doesn't just change your life. It changes everyone around it. Even trust inside your own home becomes complicated. A staff member leaks private information. You don't react loudly. You simply observe as they are removed quietly and replaced immediately, as if nothing happened. Everything continues running perfectly. But something inside the system feels different now. Life becomes quieter, not peaceful, just quieter. One night, you walk through your estate alone. Rooms designed for gatherings remain empty. Hallways stretch longer than they should. The silence feels heavier than sound itself. You step outside. Look up. The same sky you used to see before everything changed. Nothing above has changed, but everything below has. You return inside. Everything is perfect again. Everything is controlled again. Everything is yours again. But now you understand something deeper. You reached a level where almost everything is possible. But possibility is not the same as presence. You gained everything the world teaches people to want. And slowly, quietly, without announcement, you lost the simplicity of being understood without conditions. And in that realization, something becomes clear. At the highest level of wealth, the rarest thing isn't money, it's connection. And once that distance forms, even $1 trillion cannot bridge